create the turnover. 2-on-1 run out. Channing Frye elevates and detonates.
Here's Dudley, 3, count it. Dudley do-right.
Welcome back to Valley Chats, presented by First Bank. They were teammates for 3 seasons here in Phoenix. They're honest, they're opinionated, they are very entertaining. Jared Dudley, Channing Frye, great to see you guys. When was the last time you two connected?
That glorious day was his day of almost retiring. I remember it like it was yesterday in Brooklyn. We were sitting I actually went over to him on the sideline pregame shooting. He wasn't shooting, nor was I. We were having a good chat. One of my assistant coaches was his coach in Cleveland, so it was good. I was asking him, why now? Why? And he was at peace. And so hopefully one day I get there because I'm not at peace yet. But he was just telling me how he was ready to retire. So I'm glad to see him doing this thing and being on this Zoom meeting with you guys.
Dude, I love being retired. I'm not going to lie. I mean, staying in shape sucks. Super sucks, but it gets easier. But after a year, I'm glad I retired when I did. I feel bad for guys like Vince Carter, guys who are older like Kyle Korver. Does he come back? Is he going to continue playing?
Oh, that's tough.
Right? You got to think,
yes.
Dude, he's almost 40, and you take 3, 4, 5 months off, your body's not used to staying in shape, that level. So for me, I'm glad I retired when I did, where I did. I had a great career. Could have been better. Could have been way worse. But, dude, I'm having fun. All I get to do is talk hoops and chill.
And you're good at it. We see you on a national level. We'll talk about that in a second. So, Jared, you're in Southern California. Channing, you're in Portland. I want you to take yourselves back to Phoenix and your memories of playing here in Arizona and wearing the Suns uniform. Best part of that for both of you guys. We'll start with you, Jared.
Man, I loved Phoenix so much where my home that I own is still in Phoenix. I'm definitely a local there. I think that for me it was a winning culture. I get drafted by the Bobcats, is now the Hornets with Michael Jordan. And my first game coming there after doing the physical, it's a sold-out crowd, which I rarely saw unless it was opposing teams coming into Charlotte. And just the culture, Steve and Grant, and at that time, Shaq set. And I was like, man, these guys work in the weight room. If I don't play in Phoenix, I don't play 13 years in the NBA. They changed the way my outlook on basketball, how I trained, how I thought about it, off season, and just the fans. I think the Phoenix Suns fans during our playoff run always showing love, even to this day. No matter what team I am, they always embrace me as one of theirs. And I love Phoenix, man. There's nothing I would take back of my time in Phoenix, man.
I think for me, biggest thing is I'm a hometown kid, so to put that jersey on, was everything. And I think for me, I got to say the same thing with Jared. I was in New York, kind of dysfunctional system program there. Then went to Portland. We went to the playoffs, but just really haven't discovered myself. And then I get a call from Steve Kerr and Griff and Alvin Gentry, who to this day I credit my whole career. They were like, we heard you could shoot threes. We're going to need you to shoot 1,000 of them. And I was like, you going to let me shoot them? And he's like, yes, we're going to force you to shoot them. So I came, and he goes, hey, I can't guarantee you're going to start at all games, but I'll say I got you on the docket for half of them. You just got to do the work. And so, like Jared said, between the weight room, knowing your body, your approach to every single game, the unselfishness that Steve brings, the culture of winning. We just expected to win every single game, and that attitude went to every team I played on, is that you prepare to expect to win every single game. When you don't, you just go back to the drawing board and say, hey, this is where I messed up. Now let me get back in the weight room. Here's my routine. Let me eat better, get some more sleep.
You mentioned Steve Nash. Each of you, tell me something about Steve Nash we might not know. Jared, you first.
That you might not know. He's a health freak, obviously, what you do know. I'm trying to think. When we would go out, and chemistry is crucial, and there's a guy's guy, all 15 guys would go. So if we were going to a club, a bar, and we just might have won 3 or 4 games, Steve Nash was rolling with us. He was not one of those guys that you might think that, he just works hard and gets his sleep and does core workout and yoga exercises. No, he was a guy's guy. He's going to drink a beer with us. He's going to drink some wine at nighttime. Now, he's not someone to get hammered. That wasn't his style. But he was a guy who was rolling everywhere with us. And I didn't know that when I first came. To me, he's a guy's guy.
Yeah. I would say in all the years I've known Steve, and we've caught up, and I call him randomly, I've only seen him eat one slice of pizza ever.
One time.
I mean, we would, one time, I forgot what it was. It was like we weren't going to make the playoffs or something. So we all as a team went out for the Masters. I think it was in Dallas. And instead of getting a chili bowl with like rice and stuff, he's like, hey, can I just get avocado with meat on top? And I'm like, you were going to drink 1,000 beers and you're really still worried about getting, a slice of dang pizza? I'm like, man. But, Steve is a great dude. Grant, everybody to this day, Amari, Grant, Steve, Jason Richardson, Robin Lopez, like still those guys are the best.
That's all about Rick Celebrini too, his personal trainer. It was
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So both of you guys played with LeBron James. Currently, Jared, you're still playing with the Lakers and LeBron. Is it a joy or a challenge? More so a joy, more so a challenge.
For me, it's only been a joy, and I would say this: we didn't hit. I mean, Channing can talk about it more. We didn't hit any adversity. We were a number one team. We lost our first game, and so for me, the challenge would have been eventually winning a championship, and that's where we're in limbo at. And so that's where I think the challenge eventually comes with him, with the pressure of having the best player on the planet on your team and having to win it, because if you don't, he takes a lot of that flack. And so for me, it's only been a joy. We were number 1 team in the West. Before the pandemic hit, we just beat Milwaukee, who was number 1 team in the NBA, and then beat the Clippers back-to-back games. And so we were really hitting our stride. So for me, just pure joy so far.
For me, it's always a joy. And, I have many text chains, and we're still in communication. So the challenge comes every single day, right? Because he is obsessive. And he has so much more on the line than 90% of the NBA, 99% of the NBA. Like, he has an opportunity to be the greatest player, if not the greatest player of all time. So every game isn't like, I could take a game off. It's not like my knees can hurt. Where if I don't play good, it's like, okay, I just don't play good. Anthony Davis or Kevin Love or Tristan Thompson will take over. The challenge is trying to keep up with him so that when you do have your opportunity, you take advantage of it. If you're going to win a series, 4-game series, right? For our thinking was your coach wins you one, your bench wins you one, and then your two-headed, 3-headed dragon will win you 2 of those, right? And so when the bench was needed, you needed to be ready. So that challenge was, I haven't played in 5 games. I haven't played, 30 minutes. How are you going to be in shape to play 30 minutes unless you play 30 minutes? Well, you got to get on that treadmill right after the game. And so that is the challenge. And then you see him lift at 6 in the morning. You're like, dang, do I need to be here at 5:30? Like, what is he doing? We had a training camp, and this is a year after we won. He was doing VersaClimber workouts before 2-a-days and beating everybody. He's like, I need to be in better shape this year so we can do this again. And we're like, better shape? Isn't your body fat like 4%? Like, you're crazy. But that's the challenge of, like, he changes your thinking of how much and how consistent you need to be to win championships. Bless you.
I love this, man. This interaction too. You've got one of your 4 kids coming in, and this is great stuff, man. You guys are loose. Like I said, you're honest, you're entertaining. One last question to finish out our first segment here, then we'll go to a break. You guys are part of the new wave of TV personalities coming out of the NBA. Channing, you're already off and running. I love your Handles show. You're working with TNT. Jared, you're always busy on TV shows, radio shows, social media. You've got a great broadcasting career ahead. Richard Jefferson is ridiculous. He's so good as well. Aside from you 3, who else is part of this next wave?
Just
CJ McCullough.
Huh?
CJ McCullough.
Oh, yeah. Definitely with his podcast.
With his podcast, he's been doing a good job. Who else you got?
I would say Brennan Haywood's there. Quentin Richardson, definitely.
You know who's really good? Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes is great.
Unexpectedly, because Matt, obviously, his image and how he is, that all the smoke that he does podcast and his delivery of, Tom, being a host is more difficult than just us, me and Channing right here sitting there and answer your guys' question. Your delivery of questions, to be able to lead into it, and to get that guest to feel comfortable, to give you some information he normally wouldn't do, and he's done a phenomenal job for that.
I like that too, because both those guys are former Suns too. It's like they're all sprouting out of Phoenix. Matt Barnes, Quentin Richardson. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Valley Chats. When we come back, you guys are going one-on-one. I mean, you guys have this, blossoming media career ahead. So I'm just going to mute myself in the next segment, let you guys go at it. That's next on Valley Chats.
I feel a transformation coming within our culture of our team, our city, and now our arena. Valley boys and girls, the future is looking super bright.
Ray Jr. makes thunderous left hand. Moving on the drive.
This is our house. Make this your house.
Do you want to win free tickets to every Suns home game next season? Then just watch and win. Tune into the Suns Day Classic broadcast on Fox Sports Arizona and look for a special code word. Enter the code word online at suns.com/watch or on the Suns and Talking Stick Resort Arena app. Don't miss your chance to win 2 PayPal 6-man season ticket memberships for next season. Enter right now using the code word on the screen.
Welcome back to Valley Chats presented by First Bank with Channing Frye and Jared Dudley. And Jared, I saw on Instagram you did a nice interview with your teammate Alex Caruso. So we talked about your media careers up ahead, currently ongoing for Channing. So I'm just going to mute myself. You guys each get one question for the other. You guys are teammates for 3 years, know each other very well. So all it has to be is Phoenix-based, Phoenix or Phoenix Suns-based. I'm going to mute myself. Channing, you go first.
Oh, here we go. All right, Jared. James Jones. You've dealt with Monty Williams. What do you think this young Suns team needs to do to be more successful in the future?
Great question. I like the direction first, where they're going from. James Jones being a player, a champion. One thing about him you knew that was very, very good is his work ethic. And one thing about him as an athlete, when you work hard as a player and you're considered a hard worker, that transfers to your next job as you see you do all stuff that you're doing. So for him, I know he's going to work hard. Now, his question is, how do we develop Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton and put the right pieces around him to be able to be successful? Because right now they started the process. Great trade in Kelly Oubre. They signed Ricky Rubio, point guard. The key is DeAndre Ayton has to take the next step and be an all-star. Booker already did it this year, so that's the first thing. Monty, which I've talked to Booker, has embraced Devin to be more of a leader, more of what he needs to do. So for me, I think that James Jones needs to be able to bring in 2 or 3 key vets, as all championship teams do. So a power forward, maybe a combo guard, and maybe another wing defender to be able to put the pieces around Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton to be able to make that hump. And then when it comes to Monty Williams is to be able to coach these young guys hard. As you see this, these young guys don't get coached well enough. They don't get – it's crazy where they be able to form bad habits. And Monty's always been a stickler. I know he's been doing that. And you see Booker, his defense has gotten better. Can DeAndre Ayton be one of the worst pick and roll defenders rookie year who made a huge jump? Can he be able to eventually become an all-defensive player? I don't know. Does he have that potential? So for me, to that is James Jones getting 2 or 3 key vets and Monty Williams to be able to develop Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton to reach their full potential. That is the key for the Suns to get back. That was a great question, Channing, but you know what? People don't want to hear. They want to hear about you. They want to hear about. They got you. They haven't seen you since you had waves, and now look at you. I don't know what you
Listen, no, they'll come back. Whenever I go back on Real TV, I'll get my hair cut.
I want the fans for you. There's a lot of Channing Frye fans out there, especially you being a hometown kid. What was your defining moment as a Phoenix Sun player? You were high school kid. What high school did you go to in Phoenix?
St. Mary's. You know which one.
Bayless. Okay, perfect. I know that. And St. Mary's. You go to U of A. Almost won a national championship. Would you guys lose in the finals? Or
Elite Eight. They were a good team. It still hurts. It still hurts.
Playing for the Phoenix Suns. So for you, it's got to be obviously the ultimate joy. What is your defining moment as a Phoenix Sun?
I think it's 2, right? And these are just little things for me, and I don't know if the fans would get it. But the first one was when we played in Indian Wells, right?
Yep.
Playing outside.
Palm Springs.
Or what'd you say?
Is it Palm Springs, right?
Yeah, Palm Springs. So I had practiced shooting a bunch of threes with you guys, and I had never really done it in a game. But Alvin goes, and Steve, like, squished my face and was like, if they're not close to you, shoot it every time. And I was like, all right. And I just, like, I thought he was joking, and it's preseason. So, like, all I remember is that preseason, that game, me just launching threes. And they were like, exactly. And so for me, I go, holy crap, with a lot of cuss words. Like, they expect me to do this every single night. And I was like, but this is me. Like, I figured out, my brush stroke. Like, I'm not a watercolor painter. I'm all oils. You know what I'm saying?
You can't paint at all.
Like, just keep shooting. And the second one was when I came back from my heart thing, my heart issue, I came back, and that team was supposed to be doo-doo, right? And I didn't miss a practice or a game. That's the only time in my whole career I played all 82 games, and we won 48 games with a team that was supposed to tank. So for me, as much as I love the 2010 team, as much as I love that, I think it was a 2013-14 team, but, like, we're just underdogs, and people, like, love wearing a jersey. And, even though I played on other teams, putting on a Phoenix Suns jersey, there's so much history and, like, winning a part about it. And they've had a couple bad years, but that's not who Phoenix Suns players are. They're winners, and they should just expect to win when they play and play a certain way. As you see my little gremlin coming in again, and just play with that kind of swag.
Fun fact here, guys. Fun fact. I'm going to throw a fun fact that no one knows about. The first car I ever bought was from Channing Frye. A Mercedes-Benz AMG, white, black interior.
Fire.
Hey, he got his deal. He was trying to sell his cars, and a young pup had to take it off his hand.
Say hi, Lenny.
Hey, girl.
Yeah.
I was just trying to unmute myself. So I think I just muted myself out of a job.
Oh, man.
What did he charge you for that car?
I think it was $50,000.
Yeah, about 50, around 50 grand.
It had some miles on it. I gave him a good deal.
Ain't no lie.
That doesn't sound like a Sun's discount to me.
Super discount.
It was a discount. And even to this day, it's one of the best cars I've ever had.
Dude, it was the best. Oh, that thing was the best.
All right, last one before we go to our next break. I don't know if you saw this. I think, Channing, you had to have because it was a game against Portland. But of all people, to tie your record for 9 threes in a game, you and Quentin Richardson, along with Rex Chapman, had knocked down 9 in one game for the Phoenix Suns. Aron Baynes did it against your Blazers.
Over it goes to Baynes from the corner. Shazam! Oh, wow.
Jared, your high as a Sun was 7 in one game. Channing, first, were you shocked? Were you bummed?
No, I loved it. I love it. Aron Baynes, the Viking, right, he's made a niche in this league because big men naturally say, well, he's too big to be mobile, but he's solid defensively. He makes winning plays, and any team he's on, they play a certain way of basketball that, like, you're going to win games you're not supposed to, and you're going to be in games that you're not supposed to. So for me to see him was amazing. And I was watching it in Atlanta. Lenny, what are you doing, girl? Anyways, was amazing. But I was kind of disappointed in the Blazers defense. But again, I mean, if you're hot, you're hot. What are you going to do?
Yeah, when it comes to that three-point shooting, I mean, now it's normal. But back then, especially when Channing first started, and then when Brook Lopez went from a post-up player in Brooklyn to shooting, breaking records for, most threes for the center in a year, it just tells you where this game is going to. And for Baynes, he started a little bit of that in Boston. He was shooting threes in playoffs. It wasn't a high volume, and so we are encouraged. You practice it every day in practice. You're in your off season. You saw even Dwight Howard was shooting threes this year. Like, if you're open and you put the time and work in, and now the only biggest thing about it is why me and Channing shot so high. Steve Nash and Alvin, these coaches and players instill confidence in you. Shoot it. And when I keep telling you that, like, hey, to me, confidence is always better than negativity, man.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back on Valley Chats, we are going to make Channing and Jared commissioner for a day, and they're going to tell us how they would continue the NBA season. That's next.
The Valley. El Valle. This is who we are. A community bound by perseverance and tested by life in the desert. We are fighters and innovators.
Here's Nash to the rim and shot him.
With the common goal of a better tomorrow. And when we get knocked down, we get back up. When we are challenged, we are ready.
It's good! She got it! The GOAT delivers again!
In dark times, we know that if we pull together, we will rise again. And together, we will be stronger. Because together, hope will thrive. Together, we are the Valley.
I feel a transformation coming within our culture of our team, our city, and now our arena. Valley boys and girls, the future is looking super bright.
Ray Jr. makes thunderous left hand. Moving the drive.
This is our house. Make this your house.
Welcome back to Valley Chats, presented by First Bank, here with Jared and Channing. All right, so we're going to make you each commissioner for a day. We'll start with you, Channing. If you were to open up the NBA season, what would that look like?
I think for me, it wouldn't be, if you're not in the playoffs, you're not going to play. Sorry. Thank you. It's over. I would, because of the situation, I would use this as an experimental way to have a March Madness style setup. Whoever has the best record plays the worst record. You set it up that way, either in one place, Vegas, Orlando, some facility that could fit all 16 teams. It would be best of 3 games at the beginning, and then it would go to 1-game tournament to get guys. And, the 1 through 16 would play each other a couple times. And then once they're in shape, the guys are good and healthy, then I would go to a 1-game tournament, just like the NCAA, and see what happens.
All right, Jared, you have a personal interest in this with the Lakers. You guys look like you could be title bound. How, as you commissioner, would you begin this season again?
I'm with Channing on one front of, straight to playoffs. Guys get about a month to get in shape. You'll get maybe 2 or 3 scrimmages against other teams. I would break it half in Vegas, the West Conference teams, Eastern Conference teams in Orlando. What you have to do, I believe, a 7-game series for the content right now, people being stay-home orders to be able to get that. And for when it comes to your TV networks like Disney and ABC and TNT, you have to have more games. So the March Madness one, I'm not agreeing with when it comes to that. But we want to we want to play. You want to do it safety. So obviously safety first. Test every player before every game. If you fail, then you're out for 14 days. So make it a bubble. Nobody in, nobody out. It'll be painful a little bit, but it's for the greater good of not only yourself, but for people that are watching these games. And
to be clear, no fans at the game.
No
How
families.
weird would that be for the players?
No.
How weird would that be?
Very weird. It'd be very weird, but it's something that we're in a new age, new time, and something that we'll adjust to. And I think it's bigger than just us and what you want to be able to do. And there's a lot of people out there that you could touch their heart playing basketball.
Yep. Better turn on a boombox or something so you don't hear.
All right, I'm not even going to ask Jared this one real quick before we go to the break, Channing. Who wins it? Is it Jared's Lakers, or is it the Bucks? Is it the Clippers?
It's hard for me to go against a LeBron team, especially when he has a bench the way they've been playing this year. I had Milwaukee, the Lakers, and I had the Lakers winning. I just think Milwaukee, that second guy, because it comes down to your 2 best players. I'm taking LeBron and AD over Giannis and Chris Middleton.
That's a good choice. We would have pissed off Jared. He wouldn't join us for the final segment. That's coming up next on Valley Chats.
I feel a transformation coming within our culture of our team, our city, and now our arena. Valley boys and girls, the city is continuing to grow. The future is looking super bright as this transformation comes along, and it's only going to be up from here.
We have something special going on here. People are going to love coming here, and we're going to start a big thing here.
Cam Johnson in the corner. Suzanne.
The team is transforming, and this building is going to transform along with them.
Baynes takes it down and bunkers it. With a right-handed rim wrecker.
This is our house. Make this your house.
Do you want to win free tickets to every Suns home game next season? Then just watch and win. Tune into the Suns Day Classic broadcast on Fox Sports Arizona and look for a special code word. Enter the code word online at suns.com/watch or on the Suns and Talking Stick Resort Arena app. Don't miss your chance to win 2 PayPal 6-man season ticket memberships for next season. Enter right now using the code word on the screen.
Welcome back to Valley Chats, presented by First Bank, here with Channing Frye and Jared Dudley. Most entertaining follow on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok? You first, Jared.
Most entertaining follow on Twitter, I'm going to go with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's hilarious. I mean, listen, this guy is all clowns, all this. He feels like he's a professional basketball player. He jokes around. I think he's working out with Russell Westbrook right now during quarantine. It's hilarious.
I think for me, it's Kendrick Perkins, just because he's on that side, and he does not care about anybody else's opinion. And sometimes, the big swamp thing, dude, he's so funny to me, especially because I know him personally. So then it's even more funny just as how you say it, how he would say it in his voice.
I'll throw a little love out there for Rex Chapman, too. Blocker chart.
Forgot about Rex. Dang. He's killing.
I'm covering for you guys. All right, last one before we cut you loose. It's kind of like a job interview. You get this question in a job interview. In 5 years, what do you want to be doing? Jared?
I will be, in 5 years, being a head coach in the NBA.
Ooh, in 5 years, I still want to have my job at Turner, continue to have my show, and I want to have 1, 2, or 3 Emmys.
And will you be honest and opinionated to criticize the head coach, Jared Dudley?
Yeah, everyone knows my style.
Better not.
Listen, I don't criticize Jared, but if we're going to watch film together, I would talk how I would watch film. I'd be like, why did you have him do this? That's not a good game plan. Like, step your up.
Yes, I can't wait.
Ooh, I'm going to roast you.
Hey, you guys, thank you so much. I mean, joining us for the post-game show for the 2010 sweep of the Spurs, for this Valley Chat. Man, don't be a stranger, all right? Come back to Phoenix often and soon, and be well. Best to the family, and great to see you two.
Great to see you too. Thanks for having us.
Time for Daddy.
Thank you for having me, guys.
I worked out today. I ran my miles.
We'll see you next time on Valley Chats, presented by First Bank.